Hi, we're Lisa and Angie. Welcome to another episode of Pep Talks and Prosecco.
If you like what you see and hear, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and share with your friends and family. We are all about building community.
Cheers!
Cheers. Happy Sunday. Cheers.
Happy Sunday to you too. Cheers. Oh, that tastes so good. I was about to say that feels good, but it tastes so good.
It does taste so good. It is so great to see you, Angie. And I think I just want to get right to it because we have an amazing episode in store for you today. Our friend, number one fan, amazing wing woman for Weatherwill Group, Tamara Kerr from Tamara Kerr Consulting and Coaching is with us today. She is a coach, she's a mentor, she's a master trainer in crucial conversations, and she happens to be one of our dearest friends. None other than the Dialogue Diva herself is here to talk all things crucial conversations, good habits, bad habits, and a little bit of fun in between. So I don't know about you, Angie, but I think we should just get right to the episode.
I agree. Let's get this show on the road.
Awesome.
Am I coming up? Oh, there I am.
Yay!
Hi.
Hi. It's so
Hello.
good to see you.
Hi, you too.
Welcome to Pep
Okay.
Talks and Prosecco.
Cheers.
Woohoo! Cheers. All right.
So great to have you here.
Oh,
Well, thank you. It's great to be here. I've been watching you for 2 whole seasons, and I just love what you guys are doing. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Well, thanks for always being such an awesome cheerleader and wing woman for us. You've been a number one supporter since day one. We really appreciate it.
Yep, I'm all for it. I just think you guys are doing a great job, and you're doing a really cool thing, and I'm super excited for you. So I'm always going to be there for you.
aw. Thank you. I feel like there should be music playing now.
Mhm.
Like it's like a moment in a movie or something.
Right? Well,
Awesome.
if we were together, I'd probably be hugging you. I'm sure that
Oh,
that would be happening. Don't you miss hugs?
I do.
Totally miss hugs.
All right,
Right.
Tamara Kerr, you are here on Pep Talks and Prosecco. I can hardly.
Finally! Wow! This has been my
Oh.
life goal for the last 2 seasons to get on your show, you guys. Seriously.
Shut up.
What does a girl have to do around here?
We're gonna have to start taking applications. I'm telling you.
Well, the
Right?
one thing is that
I'm excited to be here.
awesome. And you have been a supporter of ours since the very beginning, following us, supporting us, showing us love on social media. So thank you so much for being a wing woman for us since the beginning of time of Weatherwill Group.
Yeah, right? I have been. I looked back through a couple of your posts over the last couple of days, and I was like, oh, sometimes I was the only one posting. And look at how you've grown. It's a beautiful thing.
It's awesome.
I'm proud of you too.
Aw.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Well, I'll
Thank
cheers
you.
to that too.
So you know, Tamara, that for season 3, Lisa and I have really focused on having this season all about building your team and gathering those wing women, those women who motivate you and inspire you and encourage you to level up, and who are going to call you out on your own BS a little bit from time to time too. And when we were thinking of guests that we wanted on our show for season 3, your name came up rapidly and quickly from both of our mouths right off the hop. We have been following your journey. Lisa's had the privilege of knowing you far longer than I have, so I'm incredibly jealous of that fact. But that's okay. We're going to catch up. It's all good. But I really think
we caught up.
I really think it's important for our community to get to know a little bit about your journey, because it has been quite fascinating, of how you became a coach and a mentor and a master trainer with Crucial Conversations.
Yeah, well, I have I get that question a lot because I'm clearly having so much fun at work that people say, like, how do you get to be what you be? Like, how do you get to do what you do? I want to do what you do. And I don't think that there's, a regular trajectory. And everything I've done in my life has kind of led me to this point. And I started at a financial institution, and I was in senior leadership there. And my favorite thing in the world to do was to coach and mentor and train the people that reported to me. And so I did a fair bit of training. And then I got tapped for a leadership role in learning and development. And then I got seconded to a project in Florida where we were building a bank right across the United States. So I was pulling together that training team. It was supposed to be a 2-month thing. 2 months led to 4 months, 4 months led to 6 months. And my boss is like, are you coming back? So I actually quit my job at the bank so that they could hire me as a consultant. And then I had just a blast across the States. But eventually I came home and started working locally, and hooked up with a company called Shared Visions that was representing Vital Smarts in Central Canada. And so Shared Visions had the associate license to deliver all the Vital Smarts workshops. So we're known for crucial conversations, crucial accountability, influencer, getting things done, the power of habit. And so I was approached, actually, would you be willing? We're really busy because this is a really popular program. We had no idea. We're really busy. Would you come and help us deliver it? And I was like, I don't know. I kind of doing my own thing, right? And they said, you know what? Just take the course. You take the course and you tell us what you think. And I flew to Winnipeg. I took the course. It was 2 days, and I loved every minute of it. It no joke, it's life-changing. And I know that it changed my life. My kids were 1 and 3 at the time, and I implement skills now and have been for 12 years or whatever that I know have set the stage for the women that they're becoming. And I'm very honored to represent the skills. As a master trainer, there's a small pool of us in the world, and we're a kind of a small, special, elite, cliquey group of people who live and breathe this stuff. And we've been put through our paces. We've delivered the program hundreds and hundreds of times. We spent weeks in Utah with the authors. They put us through our paces and they give us their blessing. And then, they trust us to train other people to represent their skills. And it's not just a class, it is a livelihood. And so we say we change people for good, and we believe it, and we know it, and we're honored to represent it. And so that's where I came from, and that's what I do. So I do a lot of training, but I also run the consultancy, and I'm a coach and a mentor formally as well as informally. So, yeah.
Well, I love that, Tamara. And I can say, because I have actually taken the Crucial Conversations training, and you are my leadership and Crucial Conversations coach, that it is absolutely life-changing. It's probably some of the best professional development that I've ever had. And one of the things that we know when it comes to disagreements or crucial conversations is that people tend to approach them in kind of 2 ways. They either avoid them altogether, avoid those difficult conversations altogether, or maybe they come at it a little bit too assertively or aggressively, and we know how that can often end up as well. So how can crucial conversations help us with that, and why are they important?
Well, people, for the most part, when we get to be adults, we have, through trial and error, figured out how to have tough conversations, right? And I think that, for the most part, we do our best. But there's very small moments where I call it a perfect storm, where we experience maybe a difference of opinion, but we feel really strongly about it. And so, and maybe the stakes are really high, and then the emotion kicks in, and then the adrenaline kicks in. And in those small moments, they don't happen very often, but when they do happen, when adrenaline kicks in, we actually get dumbed down. And now we're supposed to have our most important conversations when we're not using our higher reasoning center. So we end up reacting instead of thoughtfully responding. We go to our style under stress, right? And so our style under stress is whatever, I mean, it has to do with our personality too, but also how we were raised and what we were able to get away with when we were kids, right? So in my house, we could scream and yell and get it all out, and then we'd hug each other and we'd move on, right? And in other households, you know, we don't have any problems. And if we had a problem, we wouldn't talk about the problems. And you know there's a problem, and I know there's a problem. We're not going to talk about it. Just make sure you get your act together and we'll be good, right? And then, you know, these worlds collide and we don't know how to handle those things. And so Crucial Conversations actually teaches a number of skills to work your way through those conversations thoughtfully, but also they primarily help keep your higher reasoning center engaged so you can think your way through your conversation. Because quite often we just show up and we go on autopilot, and then after the conversation you do the play-by-play and you go, wow, I can't believe I said some of those things. Or maybe there were things I should have said that I didn't. And so these skills are meant to help in those moments where we're not showing up our best, but it matters the most. So that's what the skills really are all about, helping you navigate through that. And why is it important? Because we want to, I mean, there's all kinds of times where we need to negotiate for ourselves. We need to advocate for ourselves. We need to figure things out. We need to come to some sort of agreement. We need to negotiate or, just agree on things. I want my kid to take French immersion. Well, I don't. Well, what are we going to do? Well, right? It shouldn't be a me versus you thing. And so we help people get to a point where, we're able to kind of take the conversation to a deeper level and really connect in order to not just get results, but also to strengthen relationships at the same time. Because you can get results by being a bully, right? You can win an argument or whatever, or you can trample over somebody, get your way, but it's not going to help in the long run, and you're not doing anything to strengthen the relationship. And so, quite often in class, people they literally say out loud, aha. And it's so cool when that happens. I love it so much.
So yeah, I think curious. It's so important. Well, it is important. And as I'm listening to you talk, I'm just curious, like off the top of your head, do you have a couple essential go-to, always have tucked in your back pocket skills that you can just off the ready recommend to people that are about to embark on a crucial conversation? Or is it more about your individual style?
Well, I all of the skills I think in the course are really helpful. A couple of my favorites are the ones that ring true kind of for everybody. So no matter who takes the class and what feedback I get, there's the resonance around first the idea of having good motives for your conversation. So there are healthy motives and there are unhealthy motives when we get into a crucial conversation. And if we avoid the conversations, or if our style under stress is to sort of steamroll through them, our motives tend to be, I want to win an argument, or I want to blame, or I want to deflect. And a healthy motive would be, I want us to get unstuck. I want us to get results together. I want us to strengthen relationships while we do that. So if you can think about, what are my motives for this conversation long term, then you have something to hold on to. So a lot of times if we're just on autopilot, we're not thinking at all, let alone, thinking about what our good intentions might be. So if you can say to yourself, okay, right, in the moment, I want to show you why I'm right. I'm absolutely right. I'm always right. And you're totally wrong. But if I think long term, what do I want? I want us to be able to work through disagreements respectfully. And like we really, admire each other, respect each other, or love each other even. And so if I wanted that, then I probably would act differently. I probably would behave in ways that support that. So I try to keep that in mind. That's something that resonates with people. The other is separating your facts from your stories, because as human beings, we try to understand why people are doing what they're doing. We try to make sense of the world around us. And so if you do something that's kind of weird, I tend to take it personally, and I tell myself stories about why you're doing what you're doing. And usually it's, what's the worst and most personal way I can take this, right? So and then I get myself all worked up, and, you know, I tell victim and villain stories, and that actually encourages me or discourages me from having a conversation. It actually encourages me to avoid the conversation. And so we harbor ill will where, you know, we don't need to, you know. And so that's a big one for the class. People really connect with that. Is I didn't realize that I was telling myself all these stories, right? And the stories perpetuate the adrenaline, and that keeps the emotions going. And so I really encourage people now, just like there's only one way to know why someone is doing what they're doing or saying what they're saying, and that is to actually ask them. And so that's big, and ask them respectfully, right? With some skill. It's the skills that we look at in the class too. Yeah. But you have to start with heart, really. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, you can have all the fancy skills in the world, and, you know, and manipulate people, and they're going to feel it. I would rather you just show up with vulnerability and authenticity and say, I don't know how to have this conversation, but it's important to me. You're important to me. And that would go further than what we tend to do sometimes, you know? So the program for me is about heart. It's about, you know, really connecting and caring about these conversations. We build walls. A lot of us have a lot of walls, and it makes it hard for us to truly connect. And I know so many of us want to.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of leaning into the next thing that I was wondering about, Tamara, and I love what you said about approaching it with heart and having those good intentions. Just trust the positive intent of yourself and the other person in the conversation. We talk a lot about affirmations and mantras and that sort of a thing. So I was wondering if there was one little piece of advice, or maybe, you know, a statement or an affirmation that our community could go into a crucial conversation telling themselves that would kind of get them in that headspace of going in with heart or starting with heart. What do you think that would be?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, I think, is that a lot of the reason that we avoid having our difficult conversations, or we steamroll through them, is because what we say to ourselves is, what's at risk if I speak up here, right? What's going to happen? And we talk ourselves out of those conversations because we're worried, you know, I'm going to make things worse, or they're going to overreact, or, and then, you know, and these things have happened because we haven't necessarily shown up in good ways. And so, yeah, that's been our experience. So no wonder we're scared. But I encourage people to say, what's at risk if I don't speak up? So if you don't say anything, what is the impact going to be on you, on the relationship? What's possible? What good things are possible if I could hold this conversation well, and look at it from that perspective instead, you know, and just give it a try, right?
Yeah, Tamara, you're showcasing for our community exactly what Lisa and I have identified, and why you are an essential wing woman for us. And as you know, because you've been one of our top fans for the last while here, we spend a lot of time talking about the importance of habit formation, building habits that align to your goals, habits that are going to continually propel you one step further in the direction of the version of your best life that you deserve to lead. And I'm just wondering, can you think of a habit that you have instilled, you've embraced, that really has been critical and essential in helping you with these crucial conversations, these essential moments of dialogue that we all need to be vulnerable with and embrace?
Yeah. I love that you focus on habits because it impacts every part of your life, right? Um, and so I would say that one habit I definitely have worked to see become muscle memory is to assume best intentions. And um, almost to a fault, really, because I end up being devil's advocate a lot. But if I hear somebody say, you know, well, they just think blah, blah, or they didn't invite me because they don't blah, blah, I just, you know, my immediate gut response is to assume best intentions. Like people are just trying their best. We're all just, you know, we're just trying to get by and we don't necessarily know how we're impacting other people, and you never know what's going on with someone else. So I just best intentions. You know, if something bothers me, I go, you know, there's probably something, whatever, they had a reason. And if it really bothers me, I go, okay, well, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to ask about it. I don't assign negative motivation for anything anybody does, honestly. And so, yeah, so I'm a lot of fun at parties when you're trying to complain about things, because I'm always like, well, but what about this? So
I can attest to that. That is true.
I know. So I end up being devil's advocate, and then people go, okay, Tamara, geez, I just wanted to complain for a half an hour. Leave me alone. No, they don't do that. But yeah, that is a habit that I have had to form because I didn't grow up that way. My mother is a very good storyteller, and I just want to let people live in, what is it? Live and let live.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an expression?
Yeah,
it is now.
it is now. Somebody coined that quickly.
Done. It's ours. Hashtag that.
Hashtag.
Live and let live. I'm sure that's an expression, but I mean, that is how I feel about, you know, just if you're being hard on yourself because you're being hard on someone else, then, you know, give yourself a break too, right? Like you don't know what other people's motives are. You don't know what their intentions are, you know? And so, and if it bothers you, if you say, you know, this thing happened and I wasn't invited and it hurt my feelings, like there's got to be something going on I don't know about, just, you know, share it, and they'll go, oh, you know, I didn't even think about it, I'm sorry, or maybe they won't, but then you'll understand. So that's a habit that it has taken me a lot of years to you know, to overcome, to overcome the bad habit of not doing that. Yeah.
So, Tamara, as a fan, you probably know what's coming next, but on Pep Talks and Prosecco, we like to wind things up before we wind things down and put our guests into the hot seat. So we have prepared 10 questions for you, and you are going to have 60 seconds to answer all 10 of these questions. I have the questions, and I believe Angie's got her timer ready.
I do. My handy dandy timer. Thank you very much.
You've only given me 60 seconds for every answer. That would have been a good plan.
No, you don't get to change the rules. It's our show.
We make the rules. Okay, so are you ready, Tamara?
No.
Here we go.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so who requires more crucial conversations in your household, your husband or your children?
Oh, my husband.
Favorite movie?
Star is Born. The new one.
What advice would you give your teenage self?
You be you, boo.
Bucket list. Just let it go. Bucket list destination.
Bora Bora. Is that where they have the huts on the water? Yeah.
What brings you joy?
Oh, laughing with my friends.
Yes.
Favorite and my family.
Song? Yeah. Favorite song?
Oh my God. That's like asking my favorite kid. I would probably say, yeah, you know me. I Will Give You Everything, Sky Diggers. Oh, that's my wedding song.
Good song. Pet peeve?
People chewing in my ear.
What is a bad
people? I mean, my husband.
What is a bad habit that you just can't shake?
Going outside of the home with my pajama pants.
Your favorite habit that you can't live without.
Once a month with my good vibe tribe. Like it is a habit. We do it. We have to do it. I can't live without it.
I love that.
We put us first.
Yes. Who inspires you?
You guys do. You do. Yeah. And Brene Brown.
Yes.
Oh, well.
Same category, same time.
I was going to say, did you hear that, Angie? We were just put in the same category as Brene Brown. We have arrived. We have Tamara Kerr on Pep Talks and Prosecco, and she just compared us to Brene Brown. Where do we go from here?
No, right? No, you're doing great work, and you do inspire me. And I know you're inspiring a lot of other people, and you're down to earth, and you're real women, but you're also extremely accomplished in your own right. And you're bringing that to the world. And I think that that's very admirable. And I love watching you, and I'm your cheerleader for a reason.
Oh,
you
never got all the feels.
I know.
Right?
I mean, it took you about 5.5 minutes to answer those questions.
No, 2.5.
Okay. But they were so good. How could we stop you?
Well, yeah, if I'm going to go saying you're my favorite people in the world, like, you're probably going to let me.
Of course we are. Tamara, we have absolutely had the best time hanging out with you today. If people want to find you or find out more about how to sign up for a Crucial Conversations course or leadership coach, tell us where they can find you.
Well, they can find me online, tamarakerr.com is my website, or they can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Tamara Kerr Consulting and Courses. Yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere. Google me. Awesome. My face will come up.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be an epic episode. Epic episode. One more time, cheers to you. Thanks for joining us on Pep Talks and Prosecco and for being one of our wing women.
Cheers.
Well, thank you. And cheers to you.
Well, I don't know. How do you even follow an interview like that? I think this is what I want to share with our community. After we stopped rolling, taping, Tamara stayed on with Lisa and I, and honestly, you guys, she just naturally started leading us through our own mini coaching session. Yeah. And it was absolutely phenomenal. And it was everything that she spoke about in her interview. She just started tying the pieces together for us in the work that Lisa and I are doing with Weatherwell. And it was pretty powerful. And what she spoke about in her interview is everything, just like she said. She lives it. She loves it. She breathes it. It is a lifestyle for her. And I just feel, Lisa, and I was going to say I don't know about you, but I do know this about you. We just both feel so fortunate that she is on our flight crew. Yes. She's helping us soar, and we both feel so fortunate to have someone like Tamara as a wing woman, not just for us, but now we have shared her with the entire Weatherwell community.
I love that. And you know what? If you loved today's episode, feel free to share it with your community. And with that, have a great rest of your Sunday. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Hold the freaking presses. I don't know. Are you guys getting a little bit tired about feeling stuck all the time? Guess what? Lisa and I have been stuck many, many times.
So many times.
And we found ways to get unstuck. So, Lisa, tell them how we can help them out.
Well, we want to be your wing women by offering you a 30-minute free virtual consultation with us. So if that sounds something like you're interested in, head on over to our website, weatherwell.com, and sign up for that consultation today. Cheers!